Vidya dadati vinayam, vinayad yati patratam, patratvat dhanma proti, dhanat dharmam tatah sukham. Greetings to one and all present here. I am Aashna Khandelwal. I am a commerce student from class 12th and I am 17 years old. To be more precise, in 24 days I'll be 18. Now when I take a look back at the 18 years of my life, the first memories that flash in front of my eyes at an instant are of my school. Now in these 18 years, the first 4 years were leisure time, of which I hardly remember anything. While the next 14 years, when I gained awareness, I was at school, educating myself. Now, these memories didn't come up first because I'm about to part my ways with the school, I'm getting nostalgic, or exams are approaching. But this is the result of me actually dedicating so much of my time and of course my parents' money to education. It is through the process of introspection that is a gift to me from education that I've somehow been able to understand and relate to the meaning of the shloka that I used at the beginning of my speech. Remember? To make it more clear and to elongate my speech a little, let me help you with the meaning. So the shloka means knowledge enhances your life with discipline, leading to which instills within you worthiness, leading to inflow of wealth. This wealth is then utilized to do good deeds and experience joy and contentment thereafter. Beautiful, isn't it? I mean, this clearly exemplifies how important knowledge is in our lives. Moving on, so tell me, how many of you know about marketing strategy? I can see, so let me help you further. There's this toothpaste producing company who attempted to boost up its sales and so hired a PR team. Now this PR team came up with 5 really good solutions, out of which one was picked. Are you excited to know what it was? Well, it was to enlarge the size of the hole on the tube. When more toothpaste comes out, the tube finishes quicker and the buyer will have to buy a new tube faster. Smart, isn't it? That's how a strong theoretical base helps you find its practical uses everywhere. However, after some time, you don't even need to find it. Everything tends to make sense automatically. And that's when I stopped looking at the toothpaste just as one, but more like a marketing marvel. That was marketing from business studies that we are taught in the name of education. So what do you think is education? Education is the process of intensifying learning, knowledge acquisition, value and virtue acquisition. Now, it also facilitates the improvement of individuals all around the world. Moreover, it has always been and will always be a very integral component of every society. It has evolved over time with changing demands to steer towards being a worthwhile process and inculcate lifelong learning. In the next few minutes, we shall take a tour to ancient India, wherein we'll be exploring certain education systems, what they were and their relevances currently. Now, education in India has witnessed several ups and downs and still is known as one of the biggest and a very well-known system in the world. Firstly, talking about the Gurukul system. Now, this was a system of schooling, a system of learning, wherein children willing to learn went to their guru's house, jungles, ashrams, or anywhere close to nature to inculcate a feeling of brotherhood, humanity, love, and discipline. Children there experienced a holistic development that is spiritual, mental, and physical, accompanied by moral values, cultural knowledge, life skills, and survival skills. Children in Gurukul generally studied education that was based on Vedas, scriptures, epics, literature, and etc. Subjects that it included was economics, political science, architecture, mathematics, metaphysics, etc. The list is too long. Children were trained to become self-reliant with the quality of the education that they received here. Following these Gurukuls, we had some higher educational institutions which comprised of some really well-known universities like Takshashila, Nalanda, Vallabhi, etc. The main aim of these universities was the overall development of students. It also focused and more weightage was given to practical knowledge than that given to the theoretical part. Classrooms were built in forests leading to providing a very pleasant environment to students. Moreover, there were minimal pressure on the students. I wonder how many of you know that there's this legend that Nalanda University was demolished. Approximately 9 million volumes and manuscripts were burnt when the library was set on fire, while it took 3 months for the library to completely burn down. Then we had maktabs and madrasas. Now maktabs were centers of primary knowledge where children learned reading and writing, while they were then promoted to madrasas, which were centers of higher learning, which generally focused on religion and inculcation of qualities like leadership. And of course, after this, we had the colonial government. In the 1830s, Lord Thomas Babington Macaulay introduced to India the English language and the so-called modern education system, whose basic aim was to subserve colonial interests and to produce clerks of course. As time passed, we moved to the new era, the 21st century, the era of sciences, the era of technology, and that of innovations. Talking about the education system currently, being educated is a factor that affects one's socio-economic situation adversely. The current education system includes schools, colleges, university, and some independent institutions, of course. However, the aim of education has altered so profoundly that we no longer value intelligence, intellect, knowledge, any sort of aesthetic feeling or some sort of spiritual attainments. But it is only the economical success that we acknowledge. Moreover, young child's capability of memorizing brings them recognition. Everyone is in a rat race, competing against each other. However, not everything about the system is bad. We are prone to more opportunities, more exposure. We've got internet, we have got connectivity. Education has become more accessible to masses. However, certain takeaways from the formal systems of education would just do wonders. Like the bond that teachers and students shared in the medieval time was really sacred and pure. This might help children coping up with their stress in the current times. Equal importance was given to curriculars and co-curriculars, and more of practical knowledge and skill-based learning would enhance the education system furthermore. The fact that high-quality education was prioritized in old times further supports the idea that the sole purpose of education is to impart knowledge. Swami Vivekananda once said, education is not the amount of information put into human brain. It must have man-making, character-making, and life-building assimilation of ideas. Then only by the means of that education, something can be gained in the world. Now, as time passed, education systems tend to develop. Then, like I mentioned earlier, I am a commerce student, and I am very habituated of having case studies all around me. So, I couldn't restrict myself and ended up studying about the Japanese education system. In fact, our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, also said in one of his interviews that our education system should learn something from that of the Japanese. Now, Japan is a country which enhances and focuses more on human capital enhancements than on rote learning. One of the very significant features of Japanese education system is that, apart from imparting knowledge within students, it allows them to be loyal to their culture and tradition. It is due to this reason that Japanese calligraphy, poetry, etc. are taught to students even after the school hours, so that they are in touch with their culture and tradition. Additionally, activities like mopping, cleaning, chopping, weaving, etc. are taught to them as a part of their curriculum, making them exclusive. Superb. So kudos to them. Driving back to India, talking about education, one cannot overlook the new education policy 2020, right? Now, the policy is sought to be one of the most required reforms and a very important reform of current times. The policy aims at making education accessible to all. Changes are to be made in the curriculum, making it more holistic, and there won't be any hard segregations between arts and sciences, curriculars and co-curriculars, while academic and vocational subjects. However, this policy, if implemented right, is capable of doing wonders and can make India the golden sparrow once again. where we consider knowledge to be the real wealth. Additionally, encouraging library culture, inquiry sessions, sports, some other forms of arts, skill-based learning, etc. will add up to the grace of the education system now and the ones that are still to come. Going back in times is obviously impossible. However, incorporating its glimpses in the present isn't that impossible, is it? People are going back in times, be it through becoming vegan or yoga, Ayurveda, meditation or bell bottoms and wide legs. Something that we should never forget is that we are Indians and we are capable enough of doing anything and everything. That's my time. Thank you very much.